Hey guys, we are back with some more Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode in FHM 6. And in this one, we have the 2003-2004 season playoffs. And we're starting things out against the New Jersey Devils. I thought it would take a little bit longer for this team to make the playoffs, but we somehow did it. And of course, we have Eric Stahl to thank for the 102-point rookie season. And he was just incredible. 41 goals, 61 assists for 102 points in a full 82-game schedule. The man was incredible. So was Kovalchuk, 92 points, 41 goals, and 51 assists. Then it drops off them from there to Kaleo with 51. But still, nonetheless, we have a much better team than I expected for sure. So here we go. Round number 1 against the New Jersey Devils. Let's get right into it. Come on, boys. Get her done. And we have a W. There you go. First playoff win for the Atlanta Thrashers. 6-3 is the final score. The first playoff goal for the Atlanta Thrashers goes to František Kaberle from Kaleo and Stefan. And then in the second period, you have Stahl from Clark, Kaberle from Peltonen. Then you have Arnott scoring for the Devils. 3 goals for the Devils in a row. 2 from Rafalski. But then in the third period, Stahl gets his second of the game from Ballard, and then Clark from Reardon and Domenicelli, and then Higgins with the empty net from Peltonen, and Kaberle makes it 6-3 final score. And we're in a good spot so far, but it's only game 1, so let's go up to game number 2 here. Here we go, and we get the loss. All right, so you had to figure we get it, we're not going to get the sweep, but would like to get the win there anyway. First period, Madden scores for the Devils, but then you have Peltonen for your Thrashers from Higgins and Ferraro. Second period, Matt Cook. That's penalties. There was no scoring in the second period. Third period scoring, Brett Clark scored from Reardon and Svarvadet, and then Pandolfo and Cook scored in the third to make it a Devils victory 3-2. And game number 3 here, we are at... Well, I was about to say the Prudential Center, but I don't think it is the Prudential Center as of right now. So we're in New Jersey nonetheless. Sim game, and we take the loss. Unfortunately, we lose once again, 3-2. First period, Patrick Stefan with the goal from Kaleo. But then soon after, Sasha Gotch from Eliage and Martin score. And then Dennis Peterson from Turgeon and Rafalski put the Devils up 2-1 after 1. Second period, no scoring. And third period, you have Jay Pandolfo making it 3-1 from Gotch and Breland. But then Ville Peltonen from Reardon gets us back within 1, but we did not get the game tied. And it is a 3-2 Devils victory. All right, here we go. Game number 4. Will it be a 2-2 series or a 3-1 series? It will be a 3-1 series as Martin Brodeur only has to make 14 saves. Well, he did have 18 shots against, so we did get 4 goals, but the Devils got 7 against us as Dubilowitz faced 42 shots against. First period, Keith Ballard scored for us, so we had to lead at one point from Herkach and Kovalchuk, but then second period, it was all Devils. Eliage, then Martin, then Eliage again, and then Schaefer makes it 4-1 after 2, and then in period 3, you have Madden scoring, and then Matt Cook. And then Tremblay and Nash get 2 back, but the Devils and Scott Niedermeyer get another one. Peltonen gets 1 for, I guess, just for fun, for stat padding, but the game at that point was pretty much all but over, and the Devils win 7-4. I believe it is now a 3-1 series as we take a look at the playoff tree. Yes, indeed it is for the New Jersey Devils, so we are with our backs against the wall here. Kind of had to expect this, I suppose, in our first playoff series, but let's see if we can get the coach to make some new lines here. He's got Kaleo on the second line now, Higgins on the third, Herkach is in there, Donovan is out. Other than that, I don't think there's too many other differences. Kaberle is on the second defensive pair with Clark, and then Pitkinen is now on the first defensive pair with Ballard. And then Dubilowitz is still in net. So we'll see what happens here in game number 5, but it is not looking good, unfortunately, for your Atlanta Thrashers. Here we go. And the New Jersey Devils win by a score of 3-2, unfortunately. we are now out of the playoffs. So Boumediene scores in the second period. There was no scoring in the first. Stefan scores to make it tied at 1-1 from Pitkinen and Barteko. And in the third, you have Matt Cook scoring from Madden and Breland. Then for us, a couple minutes later, you have Kaleo from Kovalchuk, but then Turgeon scores from Marty Murray to win the game and the series for the Devils. And we are officially out of these playoffs. That is okay, though. Didn't really expect much from this team, but it was very nice to get into the playoffs for sure. But now we definitely have to get back into the playoffs next year. So slightly higher expectations, but I believe this team can do it, especially with the emergence of players like Stahl. And of course, Kovalchuk's only getting better. He's only 21 years of age. Same thing for Nash. He's only 19. This team has a very bright future. Really, this team just has to get a little older, maybe get a couple more skilled players, and then we should be good to go and compete for the Stanley Cup on a regular basis. So that being said, we do have a few upcoming free agents this year. We're not worried about any of these half-star guys down here. We're just going to release them. And there's no one who I really desperately want to sign out of these guys. I mean, maybe Ferraro, but he's already 39. So we'll see. I guess we'll just wait and see what happens up until June or until the season rolls over, basically. So what we will do, we will get to, I want to say June, probably middle of June. And then once we get there, we will sign all of our players and get the offseason underway. And here are the awards. Nicholas Lidstrom wins the Hart Trophy. And the Conn Smythe goes to Curtis Sanford of the St. Louis Blues. So the St. Louis Blues look to have won the Stanley Cup. And Hasek wins the Vezina. And the Norris goes to Lidstrom. The Calder goes to Eric Stahl. Who else? I mean, it was pretty much set in stone that he would win this award. I mean, you don't see an 102-point rookie season too often. So there you go. Eric Stahl wins the Rookie of the Year. And there you go. GM Jason takes home GM of the Year. That's what you like to see. Dan Heino is the Frank J. Selke winner. Kovalev gets the Maurice Richard. Eric Stahl gets the Art Ross. There you go. So I don't know if any player in history has ever won the Art Ross and the Calder in the same season. If it hasn't happened, well, here it is now. Stahl wins not only the Rookie of the Year, but the Art Ross. Unbelievable. Aaron Ward wins the Plus Minus Award. The Saving Grace Award goes to Hasek. Hasek also wins the Jennings. Martin St. Louis wins the Lady Byng Trophy. The Masterton goes to Nieuwendyk. Ron Francis wins the Marc Messier Leadership Award. Lidstrom wins the Ted Lindsay Award. And there you go. The coach of your Atlanta Thrashers, Nathan Layler, wins the Jack Adams. There you go. We took home a lot of hardware this year. Of course, not the hardware that we really wanted, the Stanley Cup, but nonetheless, we did see a lot of improvement this year, so I think those awards are well deserved by everyone who won them. And the All-Stars, we did not have any All-Stars on our team. I would tend to disagree. But apparently the game, it didn't take into account Kovalchuk and Stahl. Because I personally, I don't know, I would have put Stahl on the first All-Star team. Just saying, given that he, after all, had the most points in the league. So as far as re-signing players go, I think Domenicelli can be released. He's got the one-star ability now, and he really didn't have a great season. Played 50 games and only 8 points, and his grades don't really impress me either. Really, none of these guys impress me too much besides Ferraro, but again, he's 39, so we're not exactly sure what he's doing as of yet. Barteko, 12 points in 48 games played. Not impressive. We could probably pass on him. Brett Clark with 15 points in 80 games. Now he is a defenseman, but his defensive grade wasn't fantastic. So we might be able to release him to free agency, see what's out there. Tremblay, 27 points, so he was better offensively than Clark, for sure. But I'm not exactly set on him just yet. Herkach, we're probably going to release, given that he's 37, one-star talent, and only played 29 games and 4 points. Donovan with 71 games played, 22 points. I don't know. I'm not totally convinced on him. I guess we'll offer Ferraro. He's a pretty valuable piece if he doesn't retire, but I'm kind of anticipating that he'll retire. Yeah, he doesn't even want to renew his contract. He's going to test the market, so we will not be re-signing him either. And here we go. We have the Hall of Fame vote. We can choose 4 players out of the following: Ray Bourque, Paul Coffey, Larry Murphy, Glenn Anderson, Dave Taylor, Brian Propp, Mark Howe, Steve Larmer, Bobby Smith, Doug Wilson, Brian Bellows, Dale Hunter, Brad McCrimmon, Kevin Hatcher, and Neil Broughton. So I would say Bourque's definitely got to be on there. Coffey as well. Yeah, Murphy for sure. He's got well over 1,000 points as a defenseman. So yeah, definitely these first 3: Bourque, Coffey, and Murphy. Now, what about the 4th? Glenn Anderson, maybe? He's definitely had a solid career. I mean, all of these guys, I would imagine, had solid careers, given that they're up for nomination in the Hall of Fame. Brian Propp, 1,004 points and 1,016 career games played. Mark Howe, you have 742 points in 929 games played in the NHL. That's not even including his WHA stats, which are also very impressive. 596 points in 501 games played. Steve Larmer had over a point per game, 1,012 points in 1,006 games played. Bobby Smith had 1,036 points in 1,077 games played. Doug Wilson had 827 points in 1,024 games played as a defenseman. Brian Bellows had 1,022 points in 1,188 games. Dale Hunter had 1,020 points in 1,407 games played. Brad McCrimmon had 403 points in 1,222 games played. Kevin Hatcher had 677 points in 1,157 games played. And Neil Broughton with 923 points in 1,099 games played. So a lot of good options here, but I think for me, it's got to be an all-defenseman Hall of Fame class. Mark Howe will be my 4th induction. So Bourque, Coffey, Murphy, and Howe are the players we are voting for this Hall of Fame class. So Nathan Lehler, our coach, is up for renewal on his contract, and given that he got Coach of the Year, I would say he is a safe bet to give a solid 3 years to. Welcome back to Atlanta, Nathan Lehler. So I decided to re-sign Yannick Tremblay here. We'll give him exactly what he wants at 2 years at $585,000 per year. And he has re-signed. Here we go. Season summary. We got Manager of the Year. We reached the playoffs. We had a winning season. Had a winning percentage of .600 or better. We did not finish first. We did not reach the finals. We did not win the championship, of course. But we did not have any negative categories either. So after all that, our total season score comes to 27. Not too shabby if you ask me. We got 5 points available to spend on our GM and head coach ratings. We're not going to be focusing on head coach ratings as of right now because we are just the GM. We are not the coach. So we will put, I would say, at least 3 of these points into negotiating skill. And then I would say player management would be the other 2. So we now have 11 in negotiating skill and 9 in player management. I will submit that. And now we will get into free agency. So a historical note here. And the 2004-2005 season, of course, was the lockout season. One of the lockout seasons. However, in FHM 6, we get the luxury of playing out this season as it was normally intended to, with the 2004-2005 schedule. And some notable new players. You have Ben Bishop, Darren Helm, Jack Johnson, Chris Letang, Tuukka Rask, Mark Stahl, Evgeny Malkin, TJ Oshie, Blake Wheeler, and Keith Yandel. So here's what our lines are looking like currently with our roster as it is. So we don't have a 4th line, and actually one of our defensemen is our 3rd line left winger. So we need at least 4 forwards out of free agency. And I would say at least 2, maybe 3 defensemen. And I wouldn't say we need a goaltender. Nurminen and Dubilowitz did just fine last season. They were not the problem at all. So currently on the free agency list, you have Ray Ferraro is the top free agent. Then you have Kip Miller, who is 35 years of age. Then you have Donovan, Dunham, Van Allen, Clark. So a lot of our free agents are near the top of the list for available free agents. So we may as well just re-sign guys like Clark and probably Ferraro too, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much here, unfortunately, and not much in terms of potential either. So yeah, it's looking like we are just going to end up getting our old players back here. Actually, something I forgot. Heatley was on the IR, and it still technically should be, but he's close to getting all ready to go. He's about a week or 2 away from full health. So I'll just put him in there. We'll just say he's in the lineup for now. So We only need technically 3 forwards to fill out our forward core, but still, I would say like 4 forwards, maybe 5 just to be safe. So I guess Ferraro, presuming that he's not retiring, I guess we can offer him a contract here. We will give him, pretty much exactly what he wants. I'll give him a little bit more, just in case anyone decides to outbid us. As Ferraro, we may as well get Donovan back as well, because, again, there's really not too many other better players that are available. May as well get Clark back as well. So let's go after Kip Miller here. He only played 6 games last year, but he's a veteran. Maybe our young team will benefit from having someone like Miller. And he only wants 1 year. He's pretty cheap as well. So we'll just meet his demand. And we'll give him a little bit more than what he wants. And we will also go after Van Allen. He is very cheap. Only wants $375K. I believe that's the minimum of what can even be offered. So we'll just give him $425K for 1 year. Man, all these players want to get paid. Brett Clark saying we apparently didn't give him a respectable offer. Ray Ferraro says I'm worth more. Kip Miller says you can do better. And Sean Van Allen says, are you kidding? And we are at the draft. So picking first will be the Columbus Blue Jackets. And this is the Ovi draft as well. So for some reason, Ovechkin doesn't have 5-star potential as of right now. Jonathan Quick and Geno Malkin do. We are not picking in the top 10 for once. We are currently we're picking 24th. So definitely new territory for the Atlanta Thrashers. And we will pick until human. So going first overall, Jonathan Quick to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Geno Malkin goes to the Buffalo Sabres. Corey Schneider goes to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Devin Dubnyk goes to the Chicago Blackhawks. The goalie's going early. Keith Yandel goes to Toronto. And Ovi goes 6th to the Florida Panthers. Andrew Ladd goes to the Islanders. Blake Wheeler goes to Nashville. Boland goes to the Coyotes. Paul Stastny goes to the Kings. Mike Green goes to the Capitals. Krejci goes to the Rangers. Desharnais goes to the Flames. And Alex Edler goes right back to the Canucks. Dubinsky goes to the Bruins. Reed goes to the Canadiens. Radulov goes to the Avalanche. Scrivens goes to the Oilers. Polak goes to the Stars. Soderberg goes to the Flyers. Condra goes to the Mighty Ducks. Hansen goes to the Devils. And Chris Bourque goes to the Minnesota Wild. So who's left for us? We have Korpikoski, Como, Emelin, Kuhlman, Damian Brunner. So out of these 4 up here, the ones who are 2.5-star potential, let's take a look at all of them. So Kuhlman, he's not bad. Not bad. Not ideal, though, I wouldn't say. Emelin, mental rating-wise, I would say he's better than Kuhlman, but I don't know if he'd be my first choice. So mental rating-wise, Como has the highest determination. He has an 11 for team player. So overall, he's pretty solid mental-wise. Let's see physical ratings. Como does not have too much speed compared to the likes of Kuhlman or Korpikoski. It's not too much of a difference, but still, he is the weakest skater among these 4. So Kuhlman has the best offensive read, so that's effectively offensive awareness. Kuhlman would be the best to get if we're looking to get more offense now, but I don't know about his mental category. I don't like it as much as I do Como's. Defensive read, Korpikoski is the best for defensive awareness, so maybe we put him on the penalty kill if we get him. Hitting 13, positioning 15 as well. Como has 15 positioning. So if you want like a defensive forward, you get Korpikoski. If you want an offensive forward, you get Kuhlman. And then if you want someone who's just in between, you get Como. And if you want a defenseman, you get Emelin. What about their injury tendencies? So Kuhlman doesn't tend to get injured too much. He's pretty much durable. Emelin, pretty much the same. Como, roughly the same as well. He's durable on the torso. And Korpikoski, same thing. So all these guys are pretty solid, and I'm not exactly sure which one I want just yet. I have to do a little bit more comparing. I think I'll go by mental attributes. The one downside to Como is that he has a low temperament, meaning he's going to have the tendency to respond negatively to opposing aggression. So he might take more retaliation penalties. And I really did like Korpikoski's defensive abilities, because his positioning and stick checking and defensive read are pretty solid. So I think Lauri Korpikoski has got to be our pick here. I've made up my mind. Welcome to, as we sort by info, welcome to the Atlanta Thrashers, Lauri Korpikoski. And at pick 54 now, none of those other guys are on the board at this point, obviously. We've been through quite a few picks since then. Mazzaros is still on the board as a 1-star ability, so he's closer to his potential than most of these guys are. He's pretty solid, honestly, checking and hitting wise especially. Offensive reads a 14 as a defenseman. Unfortunately, he's vulnerable to leg injuries, so we'll have to watch out for that. But overall, I would say he's a solid pick, especially for the second round at pick 54. Yeah, let's take him. Andre Mazzaros, welcome to Atlanta. So we're all out of 1-star ability guys at this point, and we're all out of 1.5-star potentials, so it's just down to, it's down to these guys at this point. So I think we'll just let the computer finish the draft here. It's been quite the episode already. We went through the playoffs. We went through much of the offseason. We went through the draft. So I think we'll call it here. And in the next one, hopefully we'll start up the next season simulation. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.